Hi, welcome to Mouse People. My name is Maria and I am so glad that you have joined me today. Grab yourself something to drink and let's talk Disney. The theme of today is revealed on my mug. It is up. So this is very convenient because if I want to put my mug by Kevin, I can put it on this side. Or if I want to have Doug showing, I could put my mug over here by Doug. So we're gonna set it over here by Kevin today because she needs some nice cold water. And are you ready to see what we are going to share today? I have had a couple requests for this, and so I decided that today was the right day to show you my up pin board. So here it is. And to start off with, the actual pin board is from Target and it is in the stationery section and I believe it's around $10. And there's the gray, like a flannel kind of stuff over it. And there's some corkboardy material in there and then there's cardboard on the back. It is thick enough that it does not poke through, so the backs of the pins don't poke through, and I found that it's gentle enough that the pins don't get bent when I'm taking it on and off. And I also like it that although it does create a small hole, it doesn't look horrible, and I feel like I can rearrange because I take pins on and off and I rearrange them frequently as new pins are added to the collection. So this is a great choice for me to use. I can also use command strips and hang it up in our house. So let's get started and take a closer look at our up pins. Okay, I want to give you a closer look at the up pin board. Here's the overall view, and let's take a closer look at a few things. To start with, in the upper left-hand corner, we have a postcard from the WunderGround Gallery, and I picked this up at Disney Springs in Walt Disney World on our recent trip. And I was very excited because it does have Kevin in it, it has the dogs, and it has Doug, and it's just very colorful. So I like to add WunderGround Gallery postcards to my pin boards because I think that it just adds some color and adds something big to contrast with the little works of art, which are the pins. All right, so if we take a look in the upper right hand corner, let's start with this great pin. And this pin is from Disney Pin Trading Nights, and it is a limited edition of 3,000. And this pin is from the 10th anniversary. So this is also a really cool pin because it is movable. So I love that it has Kevin and her little babies on here. And of course we also have Russell hiding in the woods, so that are in there. So that's really cool. So this one I was able to pick up, and there are so many great pins from this collection, but they do get a little costly, so this is the one that I was able to choose. This was my first choice. All right, moving right here, we have Kevin and we have Russell, and this is a more recent acquisition. I did pick this up on eBay, and this is from 2014, and it's just an open edition rack pins. So it's a little bit older, and I like the detail, especially in Russell's Wilderness Explorer's sash. I think that it's pretty cute that it has so many different details on there and lots of color for what turned out to be tiny pins. I was surprised at how small they were. This pin is the Kevin alphabet block, and it is from the Disney Pixar Alphabet Mystery Collection. And this pin in particular is the Chaser. It's a limited edition of 400, and it's from 2016. I'm gonna set this down for a second. Whenever I see pins that are part of a larger collection, I'm always curious to see, well, what are the other pins look like in that collection? Do I need to add any of those to my collection? And so I have a couple pictures here from, let's see if they can show up despite my lighting here. So the Disney Pixar alphabet pins are really cool. There's a lot of neat choices, but you can see Kevin in here. And I have another picture on my iPad to show you. They had like a little collector's guide that had the different pins on it as well. So pretty neat. That would be a great collection. I'm wondering if any of you out there are completists. Do you feel like you need to complete a whole set of something, or are you good to collect like just one of the pins that might fit into your collection? So far, not really a completist. Cost is definitely a factor for me, but I may not like all of the pins in a particular collection. There are a few that I have collected all of them, the little mystery bags with the Disney handbags. I keep looking over to the side because it's hanging on my wall right now. So that's one instance where I did collect all of them. But this is not one that I'm going to try to get all of the Disney Pixar alphabet blocks. So I'm pretty content to have Kevin. So moving right over here, this is a hidden Mickey pin, and it is Kevin. This is really neat because the shape of the pin, if you notice, is an egg, which is perfect because this pin was from the Hidden Mickey 2014 Disney Birds, and I have a picture of that to show you as well so that you can see. They came out with Disney Birds Hidden Mickey collections a couple different years, a couple different releases, and there's a lot of great birds in it. This one is the one that has Kevin. And then in that same release, they had the Disney Pixar, the Up air balloons. So I think that those might be some that I would be interested in adding to this collection, especially the one of Doug and Russell as hot air balloons. I think they were really cute. So I like that all of the Disney bird pins, very fittingly, are shaped like eggs. And then rounding out this corner, we have an open edition pin, and this is from Box Lunch. I think that it's very clever how Kevin is holding him, and just makes me smile as I remember all the fun stuff in the movies. The Box Lunch pins are nice if I find one that is extra special to my collection, but in general, I prefer the Walt Disney World pins, the Disney official pins. You can see that it has a little bit of a different coating on the top of it, and I've heard someone talk about it's a different type of enameling. So I feel like sometimes they're not as clear, and it's a little bit harder to see the pin. So leave a comment down below and let me know. Are you a collector of the Box Lunch edition pins, or do you prefer just the Disney pins from like released directly from Disney? Because these are official Disney trading pins. You can collect them and trade them in the parks because they are licensed by Disney. So just a little side note here. And as we go down here in the lower right hand corner, we have another one of the postcards from the WunderGround Gallery. Of course, Carl is front and center, and it's like a little art gallery. And so I really enjoy all the little parts to Up and all the odes to all the characters and the scenes. So that's a really fun one. All right, and now let's take a look here over in the lower left. So starting off, we were just talking about those Box Lunch pins, and this is a Box Lunch pin with Russell and Doug hugging. And you know I love a good hug, especially Mickey and Pluto. So Russell and Doug are right up there. That dog companionship and comfort and love. So that was one that I was excited to pick up from Box Lunch. All right, next we have Doug and Carl Fredrickson. These pins came together on one card, and I picked them up at Walt Disney World on the trip just this last year, and I thought it was cute that they came together. I think that the details in Carl's cane with the tennis balls is hilarious, and Doug is pretty standard here with his look with his tongue out, so that's a cute one. Next up underneath that, we have Doug and the Pin Trader Delight. This pin is from the Ghirardelli store, and when you purchase ice cream, or maybe you can just buy the pin out in California, this is the pin. This was a recent acquisition, and you can see the little Mickey sprinkles in his sundae. So I really like the details on that. And the Pin Trader Delight pin is a limited edition of 500, and it was from the year 2014, so a little bit older pin. Abe and I were looking at the pins and noticing how different the coloring is, even though like the face is very similar on a lot of the pictures of Doug. Sometimes he's yellow, sometimes he's brown and orangish, and all different shades of tan, so there's quite a variety. We can zoom in on this little guy, and this is a Doug Hidden Mickey pin. Can you see the Hidden Mickey? And this is from a series called Character Sidekicks, and it was released in 2015. So I'll show you what some of those other pins were on that section. And here we go. So you might like to see they kind of match in their shape, and the Doug one is there on the end. So it's always fun to see what pins were released as part of the sets. Okay, and now for the grand finale of the Disney Up pin board. These are my Character Connection puzzle piece pins. Now this set actually has 10 pins in it, including 2 chaser pins. The pins shown here are part of the regular edition. They are not the chasers. And the pins that I have on my board are limited edition of 1100, and they were released in 2019. The chaser pins are actually limited edition of 600. So some of the pieces go together, like Kevin and Doug, but I did have to kind of piece them together just to make a little collage on my own, because I did not open or purchase all of the pins in that collection. So I'll give you a view of what that looks like as well. And here is a picture with all 10 of the Character Connection pins. So it makes a great scene when you have everything. You have young Carl and Ellie and lots of adventuring. Carl, he's funny. And there you go. So there you can see the entire puzzle collection. Of course, I do really like that. Cost. It plays a part in all these. So I did make sure that I was able to get my favorites. So there you have it. This is my collection of Disney Up pins featuring Kevin and Doug and Russell. So those are my favorites. So this is fun. I definitely have room to add a few more pins on here. So I'm sure that collection will continue to grow as I find new treasures. So I thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to our next time that we get together. So in the meantime, smile and have a great week.